All right, well, good morning, everyone. It is Saturday, January 21st. I'm actually heading out right now to meet another friend in the Valley who's also a YouTuber. His channel is Configure. I'll have it posted down in the description below, but he's going to do a review of my ST. But what I wanted to talk to you while I was on the way there was I haven't covered a year review of owning my 2016 Ford Focus ST. So right now we're at 13,955 miles. So on this drive we're going to hit 14,000 miles together, and I just wanted to kind of go over some things. Any issues I've had, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, do I regret buying it, the parts that I've put in it so far, and then plans for the future. So we're going to cover all of that on this cruise. So let's start out with just get the negatives out of the way. There really aren't many, but some things that I've had to, with warranty issues, what I've had to do is this carbon fiber piece right here. Like I showed you in previous videos, it kind of peeled in the summer heat. It took them about 2 months to get the replacement part in. Finally came in, they replaced it, it's perfect now. Again, something very minor, and I'm picky, so when I saw it just kind of not flush with the door, it, hanging off, it bothered me, but they fixed it, no problem. The other issue was the average miles per gallon on here was not recording. It was just showing, I think it was showing either 0.0 or 99.9, one of the two, but it just wasn't working. Took it into the Ford dealership. Again, they repaired it, no issues. So all good there, but that's been the only issues that I've had with the car after 14,000 miles. So then after that, let's go into some of the upgrades that I've done to the car so far. So again, I got the Mountoon Performance Package, which includes exhaust, rear motor mount, upgraded intake. It's like elbow, it's like one of the intake high flow induction hose. And then also it came with spark plugs, and I got the upgraded Mountoon air filter. So I didn't even put the spark plugs in because I didn't see a benefit of doing that because I'm running stock power. Maybe later if I get a tune it might be more useful, but as of right now I'm all good just using the spark plugs that are on the car. No reason to mess with that. And really, like I've said in my previous videos, the exhaust it's great, but the rear motor mount I think is a more important. If you're looking to make your car quicker or drive a little bit better, it's the rear motor mount's going to make more of a difference. Just my opinion. Take that how you want to. Something I wish I would have done is wrapped it in a clear bra. I know it's expensive, it's very expensive, but if you're a neat freak like I am, the little rock chips and stuff off the road, the paint is very thin on the front of the car, and the bumpers kind of has some nicks in it now that really bother me, and if I would have just clear brought it, I wouldn't have those issues. You also know the video is a little more clear. My buddy Colby, there's fucking rocks flying everywhere. My buddy Colby lent me his GoPro, so we are streaming in 4K today, so thank you, Colby. So outside of that, we're looking at, as far as efficiency, I'm at 27 miles per gallon. Pretty good. I still thought I would be higher because it's rated at 31. But again, for the performance I'm getting out of this car, very happy with. The efficiency is pretty good. Better than something like an STI, which it has more power, but the efficiency is awful. Not that you get these cars for efficiency, but it's nice. Right now they have the Barrett-Jackson auto auctions going on, so I was gonna go today, but it's like $60, and at that point I might as well just pay the $200 to go bid. I don't have any money to go bid with, but Donald Trump is now our president. Regardless of how you feel about that, what I was most proud of is the fact that we are able to peacefully transfer the power in this country. I know it was an awful election, it's crazy that he's our president, but the fact that it was peacefully done and no one's starting a civil war over one another just kind of makes me proud that live in a country where that's possible, and thankful. All right, out of politics, back into cars. See, this is what I love about this car. So I'm on a little merge ramp right now, and there's a minivan in front of me ruining this whole ramp for me. But to be able, the turns and the way the steering feels on turns like that, and the way the steering wheel itself feels, it's just incredible. I really like this car. I will say that I've owned a Civic Si, and now I have this Focus ST, and one of the mistakes they made with this car was not putting in a limited slip differential or a differential at all. They should have done that. Even as simple a car as my Civic Si was, it had a helical limited slip differential. So when I was taking turns, I could feel that outside wheel pull the car around the turn, because the inside wheel would be lift a little bit, didn't have as much traction, so the differential would put the power to where it was going to be most effective in the car. In this car, you just spin either wheel. Where I notice that the most is if I'm flooring it and taking some turns, there is the front part of the car on the inside. So if I'm making a right turn, the front right tire, you'll feel it slipping. If I had a limited slip differential, it would transfer that power to the outside wheel to help me pull through the turn. So that's kind of an issue. I could get I think it's called the Qualif or however, I don't know how you say it. It's on Mountain Tune's website, but they have a differential that you can buy there. The problem is it's $1,000, and I mean, so if I want to get the differential and I want to get the MP275 tune, I mean, you're looking at $3,000 right there. Why not just buy a Focus RS? So I just don't know. To be totally honest with you, I'm not sure what direction I'm going to go with this car. What I'd like to do is buy like an E46 M3 maybe, or a Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 8 or 9 with the 6-speed manual transmission. So I just don't want to have a 5-speed manual, and I don't want to have the paddle shifts. Neither of those appeal to me. So that's kind of where I'm at. However, I am looking at the MP275 tune. I think that's a great package from Mountain Tune. It is warranty safe on your car. It's approved by Ford. I even think some Ford dealerships can install it for you. But I'm thinking if I do that, I'm going to go out to Mountain Tune in California, and this is one of my favorite turns or exit ramps in this whole area. It was funny, I was on my way to Scottsdale one night, and I was in the car with a bunch of people, and we were going on this turn. I'm like, oh man, this is my favorite turn. And the one guy in the back seat, he's like, you have a favorite turn? And I was just like, you wouldn't understand. It's a good turn. I was just ready to... See, there's no slip there. I mean, I wasn't going that fast. But the way this thing, you hear the turbo spool, it sounds so good. And I guess I've gotten used to the exhaust at this point, but it's just a solid car. Now, one of the things you'll hear when I did the video on why Focus ST over WRX, basically what I was trying to accomplish in that video is just, Jesus Christ, rocks. I just had to replace the windshield on this car, by the way. Luckily, I had rock coverage through Geico, so it was totally free. Otherwise, it would have been $544. But what I was really happy about that they did is it's an OEM windshield. It's not a windshield that says like Safelite. It doesn't say Ford. So it's an OEM windshield. So if I were to sell the car, they'd be like, they wouldn't even question the windshield because it looks exactly the same as the one that came with the car. So I was really happy about that. Back to what I was talking about. The reason I did the WRX video, a lot of the comments went to talking about resale value and talking about how efficient, or not efficient, but how reliable the car is. And everyone's argument is that Subarus are extremely reliable, and I agree with you. I think they are extremely reliable. I would never question that. They talked about ringland failures in STIs, but again, that issue is coming from when you tune your car and you tune it improperly. You put, it's not stock. It is not strong enough to handle some of the upgrades. So you have to upgrade every little part. That's why I say to be smart about tuning your car, because there's so many other little things that you should do that cost money that you generally avoid. So I'm not against tuning. I just think you should be smart about what you're doing, because fixing a car is never cheap. Little Mustang. But here's a nice turn. I mean, these are the only times I get to take this in a turn. It just plants itself. It's so solid. I can't even imagine what the RS feels like. So I keep getting off topic. Back to the WRX in the efficiency. That car, both the STI and the WRX are great cars. I would own one of them. But they have a track record that's longer than the Focus ST in the US. So they've been around since the early 2000s. This has only been around since 2013. So once this gets a track record, it'll be known as a reliable car as well. Now, Ford is not known as a reliable company in the past. However, you have to understand how much technology has changed just in the past 5 years with cars. You really can't buy a bad car right now, and I'll speak for cars that are sold in the United States, because the market is so competitive. You have to build reliable cars. You can't have warranty issues. They can't be inefficient. They have to have the whole package, and that's how they're building cars these days. So if you're worried about your Ford getting a Focus because you read a blog post that said it's going to be unreliable, I really wouldn't worry about that, because you have a warranty on it. Anything, if you tune your car, that's at your own risk to possibly void the warranty or make it break down. However, if you're keeping it stock, you're not going to have any issues. Any issues that you do have is going to be covered by Ford. So I would say that you're going to be fine, and feel free to put arguments down in the comments. I'm always ready to fight back, but that's my take on it. I've had no issues on this car. I've had no worries. There's no weird sounds, and I think that's just from taking care of it. I keep it clean inside and out. I take it to all the proper maintenance. I just switched over to full synthetic oil, and I'm using the Motorcraft oil that Ford does, just because I have packages where when I bought my car, they give me I had free oil changes. I had 3 of them. Now I have to pay, but it's not much. So that's just kind of what I'm sticking with, is Ford's Motorcraft. I do think Mobil 1 is the best, but I looked at some results of I don't even know what the chart I was looking at, but it just showed that it's not that much of a difference, and it costs a lot more for Mobil 1's full synthetic. So I'm just going with Motorcraft. I think that's fine for now. Maybe later I'll switch over to Mobil 1 as the mileage gets higher. Another thing that I will note is the color of the car. I'm a big fan of the Kona Blue I got. I think really, to be honest with you, going through all the colors in my head, there's not a bad color that they make this car, and they picked good colors. I'm in Phoenix, and I don't have a garage yet, so my car's parked outside, and it is very hard to keep this color clean. There's always dust on it, or maybe a watermark or something. So it's tough for me to keep it clean. If I had a garage, it would be a lot easier to keep clean, but we're getting there. It's just a great car. The seats, I'm going to do a full video on restoring the seats, maintaining the seats, and if they're worth it. But I mean, just like, I'm on a slight turn here now, and I'm just totally planted in my seat. I talked to a guy that has an ST1 package, and he doesn't have the Recaro seats, and he said when he takes a turn, he's sliding all over the place. So when I'm taking a turn, I can focus on driving the car as quickly as possible around whatever turn I'm going around, or focusing on the road, compared to sliding over here and trying to pull myself back, stay in the right gear, make sure I'm on the road. It's just one less thing to worry about, and that's why I think these seats are worth it. And they're also breaking in nicely. I'm 6 feet tall, 170 pounds. The seats have broken in nicely. Initially, when you sit in these seats, you're just like, what the hell were they thinking? Because they're tight, but they've broken in nicely, and I think they're very comfortable seats. I also think it's going to help the resale value later. Cruising at 77 right now, and I can't even I can barely hear. If I think about it, I can hear the exhaust. But the exhaust I got, again, is the Ford Sport exhaust. Ford Performance Sport exhaust, I think it's called. And it's a nice package. Again, it's under the 3-year warranty because I had it installed by Ford, and it's a Ford product by Mountain. Actually, the exhaust, I'm pretty sure, is Borla rebranded by Ford and sold by Mountain. I don't know how that all works, but I'm pretty sure that's what they did there. But we're just cruising out right now to meet Dana for, he's gonna do what he calls on his channel, it's an iDrive. So I'm gonna go meet him, we're gonna do that, and I might head over to Scottsdale Fashion Square. There's some, they're doing some, there's some auctioning going on. I just don't want to pay the $60 to go in there. It's not worth it right now. But what I do want to learn to do is what the process is of bidding at auctions. Do I just need to have cash in the bank ready to write a check? Is there a process that I have to go through to be purchasing cars? Because what's been on my mind the most is buying a Lancer Evolution. And like I said earlier, I'd buy an Evo 8 or 9. So I think that's really what I want to do. But I want to learn that process, and I also want to, share that with anyone else that would also be interested. I think it would be cool to have a project car like that, continue to keep this car very clean, and that's that. But I always want to be driving the cars that I own. No reason. I mean, I understand that there's cars that you would want to have as kept nice, but if you want to keep your car nice, just throw the clear bra around your entire car, and it'll cover the whole thing. I think Expel is the best for that. It is expensive, but again, over the years, then you don't have to worry as much. I think that's worth it. But there's just so many good cars out there, and I see them sitting in garages. I'm just like, what are you doing? Unfortunately, the weather kind of sucks today. It's 54 and windy. And I know I say that sucks, and some of you are in -20 right now in snow, so I apologize for that, but I'm now spoiled in this Phoenix weather. Another video that I'm going to do coming up is going to be on detailing this car. I'm going to fully clay and detail it. I have a friend of mine, he's going to let me use his garage to shoot the video. That way I'm in a nice lighted setting, and there's no outside distractions or contamination that is going to get in the car. I always get a kick out if I'm watching like a video of a detailer and they talk about contamination. Like they talk about contamination like it's radiation hitting their bodies. It's kind of funny to watch how obsessed they are. But that's why, that's how the best detailers are. They're just obsessed with cleaning and contamination and making sure they're doing the process to the best of their ability. It's kind of fun. Since we've started this video, we've bumped up to 27.1 miles per gallon. So that's also increasing as the days go by. So one of the guys just commented in the videos, or I think it's a guy, I would assume, because 95% of my viewers are male. But he just talked about, he has an RS and he lives in Mexico. So I was thinking of maybe doing a border run before Trump builds the wall, and going and doing like a head-to-head with my ST and the RS and comparing them, and that could be cool. Off-site, actually go in Mexico. Everyone always says they're in Mexico because they're speeding, but maybe that would be something cool to do. Oh, we got a tunnel? Are we going in the tunnel? Yes, we are. Well, you know what that means. That is just such a clean exhaust note. I mean, the performance, it's just beautiful. And that's kind of what I mean when I talk about a clean build. For example, if I were to upgrade the turbo on this car to a bigger car, I wouldn't just upgrade the turbo. I would upgrade the suspension. I would upgrade probably the tires. I'd have it all fitted to be perfect. Maybe I'd need a catch can in the engine bay. There's just so many different things, and that's what I mean about doing a clean build. I don't care if you want to buy a Focus ST and drop $15,000 into it. that's totally up to you. Just be smart about what you're doing. That's all. Dana just bought a 2017 GTR, so we're going to be covering that as well. That's going to be really cool to show on the channel. My first time, not my first time in one, but I just had a black edition in one of my previous videos, so check that out as well. But overall, I mean, coming up on 15,000 miles and 1 year of ownership, this has been a really good car. It's easy on insurance, it's efficient, it has the performance you'd want, it makes the right sounds you want. Turbo engines are really fun. I came from a naturally aspirated Civic Si engine, and now I have, you know, a turbo engine. I see why everyone loves a turbo, because I was all about, oh, naturally aspirated, like that's awesome. And then you drive a turbo engine, you're just like, holy shit. This is so much fun. And because it's a twin scroll, there's barely any turbo lag. There's just a lot of really cool features of having a turbo. But Dana's here. We're at the spot, and I will see you soon. We will talk more. I'm probably going to continue this video. I don't know if it's over yet. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.